Yɛde Nyankopɔn ase bio ɛwɔ n'adom ne dɔ ne nhyira ne bambɔ ne hwɛ so pa a ɛma yɛhyia mu na wɔtwe biara. Ɛnɛ nso enrich your family. Abusua mu nkɔmmɔdie a yɛdi ne na wɔtwe biara no na nnɛ wɔn nso abɛka yɛn ho yi. Bɔ mpaeɛ sɛ Nyame nhyira wo. Ɔnka wo ho na ɔmmoa na yɛadesua a yɛsua ne no ɔma wo mu kyɛfa. Sɛdeɛ metaa ka no daa no, wonya bi a fa bi ma wo bi. To nsa frɛ wo nua bi na ɔne yɛ mmɛkyɛ. Ɛnnɛ yɛwɔ sɔfoɔ bi baabi a ofiri no kwan wa paa. Ɔbaa so gya mo nyinaa. Ɔsɔfoɔ ɔde amufa ɔwɔ British Columbia ɛwɔ Canada. Kyerɛ sɛ menka ne sɛ atɔyɛ afam no ho a baabi a mekɔɔ school ɔwɔ the next province. Pastor yɛ ma wakɔ aba meyɛ sure sɛ ebi a akyire no yɛn nkɔmmɔdie mɛbɛte wo nka. Enti bra memfa brɛ bebree no. Ɛnnɛ deɛ no we are talking about nsanom ne aduro yɔsɛm, alcohol and drug use among the youth. Saa subject we a very important subject a me pese me ka kyerɛw sɛ yɛyɛ adeɛ wi a fa bi na fa ma obi. Meaning young people, especially the second generation, ye mana ye wo mo ha no no mu nyine wo ha no bebre ye bonsam de gi won mu nie nti mennom ho kwan. Dr. Boampong Akese me were another yonko bi on so de Boampong, Dr. Boampong Akese na enne nyame nam no so waben wo saa ne mu na dwuma wo ye no nam saa ne mu nyina mse waba ade yi so pen. Nti Dr. Brian chen mebɔ mpaye na madane ha ma Yehowa na ase ayeye nkamfo ne anuonyam ye wodea. Nya yesuan bonsam de ache wo ma bebre mrante ne mabawa. Ene yesrew. Fa doctor so na ne yen ni nkomo. Ma ye ntiase bi ene adesua sonko besiesie ye ne abusua titiri wo awieye ebrem. Jesus Christ din mu na yesrew. Amen.
Amen. Pastor Medase, Nyame nhyira say wasa tonsa afre me biom. Say enenso mensan. Ene mo meche ye asem ketua bi. Sure some mama memre kakra bi na men try say me to me a project me slide C. Okay. So say obi ehu. All right.
Yeah.
We maybe some say why this topic, prevention of alcohol and drug use among youth. Nanka a Christo fumu and nasanka akwansha fumu de. Anka this shouldn't be something crank and say ye bohun deru. But I rehosem say now the youth that we have within our young mano, I know to just saw them. This is what most of them are doing. And then yes, Ubina say, I have gotten the chance to talk to some of them, just trying to find out the reason why they choose to get themselves involved in such act. But sometimes some of the reasons they give are not the me person na ye free hand say nye afi na wo kɔ na bi oba wo sa ti bi nya afi na na kokontokwa. This comes down to parenting. You know, my shasye, I know say as time goes on, yeah, for many will have some advice or other contributions on made to me at the aba. We hear about the term or the word drugs. Drugs, because drugs are the drugs are any chemical substance that can change how your body and mind work. So they include prescriptions are of course over-the-counter medication, alcohol count, tobacco, any illegal drugs. So all of any substance might just change the way your body functions. We consider that to be drugs. Now, substance abuse differs from addiction. In PMP, we hear the word addiction and we hear substance abuse. And so substance abuse, it occurs when you use any prescription, alcohol, any other legal or illegal substance too much or in the wrong way. In the environment, say, for example, na wakɔ store na wakɔtɔ ebi atarano ana wakɔtɔ ibuprofen yɛmfa sa ɛyam yare now no ma you are using it in the wrong way, so you kind of abusing it. And now even satarano kra na onum just to cure your pain, but they be onum just say ade bia moroso abuse, you are abusing it. Until that is substance abuse. So anybody can abuse substance and or addicted, but substance abuse is the onset of addiction to start kakra na wabeye addicted. Many people are more substance abuse, this kind of problem, they can quit and change that kind of unhealthy behavior. But on the other hand, addiction is considered to be a disease. It's a brain disease. If we say once you get addicted to something, you cannot stop. Say ubejai. The addiction, it occurs when repeatedly you use drugs or drugs like it kind of changes the way the person's brain function. Into repeated use of drugs, once we consider that to be addicted, they consider that to be a chronic brain disease, and it causes a person to take drugs repeatedly once you become addicted. Now, the only woman said people who become addicted to any form of drugs, just that they don't even care about the side effects and answer the harm it drew because they my ya chenintino say omunyanya binum na omo they lose control over that compulsion to say they do it repeatedly without even considering the side effect. Say they don't even care. That is when we say why you're addicted to certain why addicted to drugs. Now, addiction changes the brain in the fundamental way. That's changing a person's normal needs and desire and replacing them with new priorities. That's connecting. That is new priorities that are connected with seeking and using that drug. Them they can once you become addicted now, just so always and all the time you will be seeking say ubenya edroni biano. And they kind of ranked substances are using alcohol and empathy and etoso mean tobacco is number 6 and other drug use is number 7. Now we will be saying that a brand people start to use drugs or start to abuse drugs. So many of this unhealthy behavior often begins during adolescent, and it kind of represents major public health, and it's a big challenge we could. Now, the adolescent age, it kind of ran from 10 to 19 years. That is when they start copying Subenbi. That is, I think that is the middle school, right? Our elementary school, grade 10. We must say grade 8, grade 7, grade 8, normally high school. That range, that is where they kind of start to exhibit this kind of subain and this kind of subain. Multiple studies have shown that majority of the adults who end up with alcohol use and as a disorder and have their first contact with this substance at that adolescent age. In still at yes, was starting. Most of them started at that age. Now, 31.5% of high school students have been reportedly like a man in San Abro pain, about 31%, which is Omega's ABI is about that is a huge number. And on average, about 11,380 youth in America, that is ranging from age 12 to 20. They try alcohol for the first time every single day. Most of parties now, house parties, birthday, couple of things like that. Most of the time, they get the chance to kind of, serve like omunyasa drinks and alcohol might serve those kind of occasions. Nothing. Most of them would try it. Adolescent because of immaturity of impulse control and judgment, especially prone to experimentation with drugs and alcohol. As most of them are curious. Oh, I just want to taste it how it here. Sometimes they just want to experiment it. That is how they kind of start. They start trying to get themselves involved in Zana. Among teens, alcohol is the most common or abused drug among those young age, and more than 60% of teens claims that in rural at the moment, most of them, some will say that even they get it in school or through friends, and which is true. May name some of the youth need Bikasaya, and that is where they that is the place that is a honor for most of the time when they go to the washroom or the bathroom. That is where for at this animal show to muku do honoma naze eja amom kakra into say if or also become so foolish and untumi nka se there that's what you try na say afedie if you want no akutu no ye no kakra na drug abuse reported by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration indicates that some children are already abusing drugs at the age of 12 and 13, which likely means that one might be cross that sooner. Now we are dealing with another situation. We're trying to get DCF to remove Nkwarebi from Omufi because parents no drug addict. I'm not a bukra no started to get used to drugs even earlier than that 12 years, especially omone parents are drug addicts. Because some used to know na a capis to her no above money is no matter than nankwala no so afa no monso try ne kakrakra into some even start even at that younger age. Now, studies indicates a high prevalence of individuals involved in the justice system have substance use disorder. Now, and if you move, I mean, say, and most of Nkwala Ayakumha or Mutanya Abayamania, Diomoko juvenile, that in Kwaraboni school, and I say, you don't call that juvenile justice, most of them, about 62.5%, report was like they have used any other form of drugs or alcohol, and some of them even are already addicted. Now, the women say youth who begin drinking before age 15 are 4 times more likely to develop alcoholism than those who start drinking at the age of 21. And those youth who also start drinking alcohol by 7th grade are more likely to have academic problem along with substance use and delinquent behaviors in both middle and high school. The moment they start kind of getting themselves involved in this definitely most of them are affected or academic performance. Now, by the time they reach young adult, it will lead to likely other criminal or other violent crimes. Now, most persons who ever initiated use of cigarette or alcohol have already done so by the time they are 20 years old. Mikaisa one time, na me name some Black American lady be. Na me near you, my smoky pa. She say how time Ben started so smoky. So started so smoky at the age of 8. Nane ma me name say smoky. Bit me idea Eddie that young adults approximately 80% of all persons who initiated use of marijuana at age of 25 or younger had previously used either cigarette, alcohol, or both. The substance abuse actually have major impact of NIPA individual and even Ebusiano, the community as a whole. or more ye in bone e wo krom ha no may affect you no funny trimua may affect ebusua no society nyina so even the community nyina so affecting economy no so affecting because the government have to pay for some of these or subsidize for some of treatment. They have to give them housing at the end just to make sure that they can reintegrate them back into society. It's a big problem. Once you become kind of addicted to Zadi, how so most of the mental illness, one of the causes is drug use. Now, substance use, it kind of contributes to the development of mental illness, and substance use may change the brain in the way that makes a person more likely to develop mental illness. Now, drug use in adolescents frequently overlaps with other mental health problems. So, once you start using drugs, probability there will be some form of mental illness, very high. Na ubia wo the person who say our brains do not finish developing until we are in our mid-20s or at the earliest. The drinking alcohol during adolescent can damage the part of the brain that is responsible for decision making, self-control, and memory and learning. That is why it affected, especially so school. Now, say you start doing these drugs now. The reason why it kind of affect or academic performance because the part of the brain now it is responsible for like to me amount to me control na amount to me keep memory amount to me this the alcohol kind of affect that part of the brain in pain it's likely there also a by affecting performance. Now the brain changes from addiction can be lasting. So drug addiction is considered a relapsing disease. When they're trying to say in pain, once you become addicted, now say even say go through detox, now say yeah, try say yeah, be cleaning una wa free that addiction anymore. Probability is over to me as a very high. The slightest opportunity you get into that in Rono, it is likely that you can go back and start doing the drugs again. So the side effect of alcohol can vary from being minimal to extreme, depending on the amount of alcohol that has been consumed. Substance abuse can lead to serious problems, such as poor schoolwork, loss of friends, problem at home, date rape, and other traumatic injuries. Say, who use likely say there are so many problems that you can go through now. If I'm say, most of car accidents and suicide, other violent crime, most of these victims, some of them are under the influence of in Roya making so lead to unemployment. We know that most of these drug addicts, most of them are unemployed. You can see that sometimes when you're driving around town, it be cardboard, it be homeless because they are unemployed. They cannot afford a place to stay. Yes. Now, what are some of the risk factors? Etimima will be study abuse, substance, and now or the behavioral addiction, peer group influence. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts character. Sometimes if you're so media, me banner the oye, me ban the matitini. Me pese otia say a womb uban what it in but once they start getting themselves involved and I say they mingle with the wrong bad company, it's likely that they might get influence. Maybe amongst us started dying suban boni biedi. The woman say most of these teens, sometimes they listen to a more young their peers' advice than a parents. They consider say if you do no young the man nyansa wo chain as a man, the parents they can say the parent need you or yet or you could unim the echo. In pain, once they kind of mingle with the wrong people, to ban be or more than it is likely that they might corrupt or ban adwin na abia or non so as started say or ne or more yeah that kind of drugs maybe. Parenting style. This is a whole topic. This is a very big broad topic. I don't know say be a more treaty or harder. I can talk about this some other time. Embantity idea here na asama and then minimum can about drug use it be where who say the main solution to sadi is parenting. There's nothing else that I can say about from parenting. Ma tete idea here say the parenting no and shada and shada most of the time no. Say when you give your kids too much freedom, the monitoring is a little bit less. Just that they have BBR, they are free to do whatever that they want. Most of the time, no, when you bounce and not you realize that you've made like a very huge mistake. Now, other risk factors, socioeconomic status. They can consider the quality of parenting and drug availability and early aggressive behaviors. Chrome no drugs now is so easy to get. So get into contact with Ubia drug, those people are also very nice people. So addicted, very nice. Ubisa no the memo CCA. Then I'm saying readily available in most of and because teens wants to experiment in most of the time that is how they kind of get access to Bruno, then they start exhibiting subai. And if you sometimes biological factors and so contribute to say parent no wo akola na bra na parent na nyam this parent no yen no sa both of them akola na benyin no due to no ya nintino akola na benyin na ono so no e come say or yeah kind of attracted to doing these drugs. No, people say, why do you abuse drugs and alcohol? I didn't no Gidi can say they want to feel good. So they may take a drug or drink alcohol because they like the way it makes them feel. So on the way a man that kind of atinkana unyano. Into they be an energy home say obey in Bruno. Or more and Rebecca Jones said, no, you feel such as oh yes. Superman as a superhero just car na butuka no kra maka no kra ebu afa so bede like you feel some way be because of that kind of I think kind of that feeling no munya that is why they do drugs and I be kind of experimentation because they are too curious. They want to know the echo, they want to try new things, they want to take that kind of risk and always they start trying if you want. No, I could try if you two. No, I could try with an idea. I can have idea or start enya or start follow enya some kind of love for this kind of drugs. One, why they do it because they want to experiment. And some also say that they believe that it makes them more grown up. So all starters that will know start to drink alcohol, it makes them feel just say homogeneous. And some also do it because they want to fit in. And now for no. So because on the table and so Jimmy Bintino or yes, the he can fit within the group. Now for no it to an on he can also be counted. Say ebi ono nso eka omo ho. No bi nso no some will tell you that they do that to kind of as a self-medication. Or more they just to deal with their stress and their depression. The stress especially plays a significant role in starting continuing drug use. And some adolescents suffer from depression, social anxiety, stress-related disorder, and physical pain. To go on more, feels as a or alcohol and as or that is the only way it may deal with the stress and the depression. And the young people have this kind of messages about substance, especially alcohol. From arts, from and almost most of these teens, some of them have tablets, some of them have phones, and sometimes phone most of these movies or most of these music videos or motion most of them are kind of promote this kind of near menu. The more they watch and the more they get videos being shared to them from other friends, sometimes a more so per se or more try some parents ankasa no kra no omo fie mu no matoto sa de we ehyehyehye omo fridge mu no omo pass no omo draw mu e no omo no kakra na de wo mu say unya hoho a no wayi no wasebe no da be pie no oba no peso hu adekora onko a wato ade ahye omo pass ya uhwie no kakra bo so no nso akohwie no aka ahwe na afa de everyone na ekutu na say omo try ne kakra oni ba ho so no na afa de ono nyina na enom. Sometimes parents are also a contributing factor to mofra or more than says to ban yedi. The media influence and the idea of drug and alcohol being cool is one of the main reasons why these youth decide to try drugs or alcohol. Just like on this guy is a cool kid. They have their own terms that they use. Sometimes or they will see him say, oh yeah, then the source and also the answer, whatever term that they use, will kind of be able to blend or fit in. How can we prevent we can say it all comes down to parenting. Parents are the most effective force in preventing and reducing adolescent risky behaviors and helping our nation's youth lead health drug-free lives. Who say kids who learn about the dangers of drugs at home are up to 50% less likely to use drugs. Even awofo etumi chi on omo tenase any omo di inubone ho komo etu omo fo about sa ade we no they are 50% less likely say omo be ye sa inubone na the home environment is the single most profound influence on every aspect of child's development. If on shadama when ni too much freedom, less monitoring, ma me kwa ha da me kwa ha no akra me kwasra madam fu bi okwa wunim de okoye bua akoye sleep over wunim ade a omo kwa akoye eno answer for phone no afre ohun ye wadru ho. Most of parents spend all their time at the workplace. The answer man when she free game come do no way you not wa me no microwave. That and no parenting and family continue to be the important parenting and family continue to be important through adolescence when you have more autonomy and opportunities for risky behavior. Comes down to parenting. There's no other way I would say we can prevent it. If you as a parent you want the school system not to educate Emma Odia the school system no kra no moko hokra kusua this kind of suban boni etino awofo bia no eye wasede say make sure say ma weni akoma. So parents use of rules to monitor adolescent activities and encouraging healthy outside the home activities are critical to reducing negative peer influence. And you should be able to monitor, especially once they get to that adolescent age. That is when they almost begin to kind of start shaping. You have to be very vigilant. So and you should know every movement. If you say at that age, there's no way. But then, as I said, as a parent, someone when you come here, they will also make sure that they are doing the right thing. And who as a parent, so to me, that kind of so a role model for Omba. So the role you play contributes to the child's protective factors, which can help to prevent them from engaging in the use of alcohol, and then other drug use. A biome see a lack of education. So some adolescents and young adults grow up thinking drug and alcohol use is normal. It's never normal, because most of the time, no. So more share TV, and now more shared or more, videos or more phones, more tablets. So, BBI a portrait no, they think they were normal. But then it's up to you, the parent, to make them understand that there are consequences to that adeno. They shouldn't even kind of think about it, crase or more per se or more a question sa adeno. And then I think that education is very important. The more you educate your kids about this idea, and more some kind of awareness. Anytime someone approach them, say or say or more or introduce them to the BCA, and now so we can show mutim the bentino, they will know when to make the the right decision. A very important say I will be to me bre na one oma edisa in we the community and the church members also kind of have an important role in preventing substance abuse and promoting positive mental behaviors. Be honest to say we can kind of bring this kind of education to the members na ubia nso etumi akofie ene ne ma akoche and ubia bi ene we nya kwan amba platform isu no no akoche providing our youth with the right education about the dangers of drugs is essential for getting a young person headed in the right direction. It won't be say as a church, no, the church can also kind of organize some after school, program B for especially most of the youth AB among school. Normal for new fear, normal for eco edumano. Maybe maybe the church can come up with some activities it will just kind of keep them busy, because sometimes once they are idle and they have nothing to do, that is when they will rather spend the time visiting friends, talking to other friends. Phone so now more videos here na no any wrong information or na how biamba. So it is obvious that young people use drugs is because they have very little to do with their free time. And I'm so many maybe I didn't know. They just try to find something to do. Maybe I'm going to visit friends, they just hang out with friends. Nice. So then young on your moody say if this is the kind of modern idea, it's likely say ubidi or mochi. So a good way to provide our youth with alternative to drug is by having after school program. It could be after school program, maybe as well, organizing. And I said there are other organizations around town and almost war other after school program, and maybe you will to me enroll or ban just to kind of keep them busy. Intimidate me my presentation be any be na be a what question and answer a foot will be a person or the mind and the bano. The person nation say young people become addicted more quickly. Good kids, they make bad choices. Maybe an audience will make them at me by but the only say most of the time they make bad choices. So talk to your teens. It's a fact. Children whose parents talk to them about the risk of alcohol and other drug, no, it's less likely to use them. Into your kids' biggest protection. The person motias and say, we as parents, no, yen bit to me, aboy a man who ban ye. Don't wait. And I don't think say the school system and I say the church na ababebo oman ho ban. You as a parent, your responsibility. They say as I say utumi eteto ba ye, utumi ekyerɛkyerɛ na utumi etunofo ewo kwan a ebeboa no so the be ya onkofa saa suban yi na daachi bi no enkofa adwumuhaw anase enkofa ɔhaw kɛseɛ bi embeto no so. Intimidate me presentation be si ha me say me contem kakra but me sure say bia emre no aka no so dɔɔso nti betumi agye nsɛm bisa any questions bia ubia any contribution bia ubia wo.
Yo, Dr. Boampong, that's a pa and Ray. There was a subject here. What about Banimu Amaye? A very, very important subject. Now, a very subtle, so Minka said, it me we are not be fee na ye. Said an hour canon. Obi betimi oba betimi akofa bia betena fie na one ne tena onim se drugs and alcohol ewo fie ho yan ya yetu kwan de ma betena krom ha ye ma bebre wo ho a saade we enya wo musu nsusaso nam se doctor wo kasa no bobo so bebre ibi wo ha se oni ifie ho no there is no relationship between the young person and the parents. So in a little chance, one how can a gang PS say na titru gang for me very smart. Sebia unsia almost a kwani I fast for. They are very nice, they are very supportive. They cover each other's backs. That time I'm using them. So we have your back. Should I say? You're born by no. You're my how mouse. You be protective. It's only one my man to these kinds of things. And he doctor had asked what it ye am I ababem? Yes, what it any ababem? Ama maybe I am a day. You say so. There's a presentation, not same, a little similar. Earlier, so Ivy the presenter. Now you were pushing it to the next step. Into your be microphones. Now you can turn your microphone on. Now a question and answer will contribution be a person or the boy. Fabra boy. Questioner because doctor presentation. Why bra? It's answer your man baby. Saudi drugs. Ubumuni action. Na ya de call newspaper mu. Na SDA ni ba na bema. Na ye kind of one say wa cotton drugs ya chino. No mami ya sorba. Or pay a sorba no bisa a day and I'm in make pia. This is your chance. A day na yina bit mesua a free moon. Inti na be lines not to move. What are your questions? Well, question is saying, and I'm one saying, so let me tell you, when I'm yacha, or how my body, now also so the more and the abba. Into question missing, and I'm more anything. Dr. Brown Moban, it be a me musase. who can PS say PS here one major factor umutimi twin koda adwene call drugs. Okay, let me create a hypothetical scenario. Me a doctor small okay. Me de me be kwa asore da. Me ne native e bom paye. Me nyamani se me yi nyam so machen. Me hu ya ansa me be aha se enum nsa me fie. Den na saa de no be pie.
So the question you have to ask yourself, say, what kind of nipa no nyomonam? Nipa no nyomonam no sen no omusubantie. Na I will say this, especially Ghana for I'm just going to go back a little bit. Say obi hu bibi wo ba ho no beka. Please find the bufo so say bi o tan oba no. If you say obi ehu bibi ewu bi ba ho ama okoka kira awofo na awofo no mu etwa mo ho ye no. If you say on fasade ni nsusu ne ba no, if you say de bi ona ne ba no ne si aso dem sane asofo o kan ya intin ne ba de bi ona ne kwa asore de ba ne sen na wakohu no tibia bi sei so. But then they can say this wasn't something within the Adventist church. You can't want them. But what I'm saying is that now the youth in the church are doing it. And you know, wo as a parent know the kind of people are on mano, on like on one on your monam on your omu etu anamon. And na say obaka say or ko baby a enjano kwa say onko. Sometimes you have to follow them to see bibia okono then omukwakoye wo ebua house party we dey asoreba ezo unza asoreba house party there but enya asoreba mpo nko na beba ho ubenya other people from other places our monsoba na most of these youth no so mu hia bebresa na say parent be no supervision be anywhere most of them we are this kind of alcohol drinks not the shisha omo to the point that sometimes we be oba no no but obenya nipa boni ni bi odi bi befra nsem amananom entino a big problem mean can say sometimes it's not it's hard to prevent that is oba no sometimes we nim crazy be a DB afra nsem but ninyina your parenting you can blame the kids in a way but again everything has to do with parenting. Okay. So for me, question and one.
That's a pa. If it's a son, I will for break Guinness, meaning the qua sorry. In fact, what make it point to be a extremely important. So no, we are for now ba will be kind of one sem chirewa. And so no conto. So, a be a wound, yes. Maybe by being a pacrona shiano. You grow who no na or chire drug be. So into say or utiauna swa. Near say fair enke can be in chin pan oboa o semi bedi. Your first place to go ni say call banum munchin. For quite be so fanadam for. Your church maybe idea so make friends with your so no banya down for. Ukobusa na saa we kra na bubefu asa ono ne adamfo na onam kwan ntoboase kakra so ubetime nya obana ama na open up akacha if say woni betime atena fie the backpack na da bi e bone na chi odi ko school ba ene ma ehye no e bia na bi e ka enti na ma very important so bi tia na so say wo bai bia me hunu sei na sei ya bia baka sare no wan koninchi. I say we are saying doctor, I say are you who pass? Teacher young boys now. Unfortunately, they have gravitated towards some of these things. I tell you, I am now who approach you more dangerous. So quite clear. Now we're into drugs, be crown or sign pusher. A be I'm in fabbing can't know. Young people are they brahma call drugs near alcohol. They bring no yes, sir. Womo kono ye crowd. Ebi o ha drug addicts no. Afa wono no mo ye pushers. Into Omano Comano Coton, the boy who no threaten. Says one fan ko ha, may you say. Me kum, ye be kidnap or ye do be gunning. To be no Kodana, sir. Now, if you the Markodano, if he said, or no penny in the cotton and be a betching. So it was the Markodano. As my may catch them money. I am near me fear, yes. If you don't ask me, I can maybe some pan, I may make an may offer a sipa. Me chili man or bar or UK. And on the bad boy. May I make offers? The bad boy. Come here, Bunny, I did see a record. And Okofano about England. Nah, or they buy. Unfortunately, akodaya koto to ade we bi. Nti me amete ha yi no, and I'm a friend na me ne din komo sa na me nice friends. On say o ma me o ba tan dia o ma me no. Ya na ne mete. Chese ne ba pani a ode na wa tu kwa be bra no akofa na ba. Na suddenly akodaya yi ka kosi. Eti ano ke kam sa na me ka chen se na to boas. Ya nyosa. Eti me and I'm offer I see my fan na you won't believe, sir. So I mean, didn't come okay, can you not? Yes, also offer non pa the menumbu. Na, enough of women at the mamma. What to me, didn't come or also offer Sunny only Missy Castle. And I sang Camema, many Casasa. And come again in natural. I'll buy ya, and what can go so more than some broom to me. Of her, sir. No, me met it. Na me soma ye din oba su oba sere ninkasa am offer so we no ho sere pa je say asoma be ka kire wo ninka ba ka kire wo offer so we na me maame de ne nuanum kuma me no a wo mu UK akọ Ghana na o maame no shipu nuane a we de mfa shipu nuane a on be die nyina akọ bi na o nuanum aba abesra sama na o nuanum de ye ma o ma brochire nuane ni na ono de ano abaire ti da ko to wasa ha no se na abrochirefuo ya munko na Ghanafuo ya munko but you say what I'm saying is between the come na wa open up na wa ba form no can offer enya me o boys no huna me na last we am me bike say man fa de na anko ba bi o me se mpa nkoto no me de koto ha obi ba befa won ba bu makum e ho so ne etie eti just say na say me tu me nua fo say on pe ba bi ntem nko so o say wo fa how me etie na me de me sakre o matata me sa na ja fe o mo ya na ma gi akoto ha mo ogi mo fa na sakre wi o da akoto ha mo oh enti sa chima ya kan say it minya big impact o nkoda so a na wodi mu say no kra de ma me susu ma me wo fa asene say so anum so nya no ye pushers no kra na ekum o mo kase enti mi no ma me ka so o ma me fa me wo fa asene metena kra mu na me ne ntina enti nsoma ya kan no aha ne na doctor de ama ne mu dupa me ya kasa do Kachire, another and was your free moon. Ain't he so near Grandma? One more, and they say, ne asthma or doctor catching. Said drug, alcohol, and drug use. What's of our dear brother?
Pass that. Pass the new beteo. Just a minute doctor yard, Binny. Oh, the kind in so no. Na said you will see cano and the cost semini and quality will krum say no enye bete a casacre abutre ayonkufa any sanyo money in an account na enam say ye qualano spend the time womo friends more no ntino make us a beer papa na kurabia unya as much time kese because if you are what you must schedule ni said you must ni dini ntino ya na friends influence no to the beer na doso enti the American ediasis ne say from time to time no so a word say baby will be ano at least yenin kwala na lenke yenin kwala na lenke na me de doctor kan ya chese hono na mpese misisi dua pa akese ene sleeping over no eni kura de chese I don't want to hear it say me ba we ka che me say me kwako o da he je say enye ya me de metu parent bi afo say ye encourage wow yes emwa ena ansa kra say obemma ko kwan no na wunnim efie na wo komu no ennim sede ayonkofa da we see no esitie pa nye sa pa dia men so because sede doctor see kan e hasin kwala no omo ye smart nti se wo papa no se wo no wo so anye smarter dem bia no omo de asokwa beda no wachenchena pasa me de manu be siama amanfo aba me sa abade
that's I'm say o di bi aka me doctor say obe react to that. Okay, yeah, Auntie Hannah koso.
Ana me pa mo chonso ya ye manu. E so omo dem ye ta search hohom ni ho a. Ye call mo bottom omo pass omo class it mu fi san kwara ni bebre ho a. E se so omo ho na hyehyɛ. Search no me bi a wo behu. Hello me wo so.
Kacho so Auntie Hannah.
Ai. E mane nya se ne dem nkɔ ho kra. Enu de ye bad yi kra. E was ne dem the bag mu ne bottom ne mpaase. Ho a na ukọ na ase wo kokrene. Na so wo hwɛ de ho. Enu nso boa pa wo ye bibia enu ho wo behu. Na sa wo nye ne sa na wo bisa no nso onka na mfo ba o mu gudem na o mu di agoro o mu di nkomo wo pie ho a na o ma edin e was all started na abo ne search. Bisa nya sa asembe to wada na na egu abonte. That's it.
That's pa Daniel Bafo. Daniel koso why?
Pastor Nyamisha and a Dr. Nyamisha. Mo asemisa ba kon. Pastor can also drugs no. You audio bebre mu. Ana ni bisa se. Ebe den na ye parent any be adamfo na some ni be din komo. Any masem bisa no.
Okay. Yo, that's pa Bafo. Doctor.
Me do say awufo bi a wo line so betumi ayi Daniel asemi anu amanya. O say den na parents betumi ne omoma aye adamfo.
Okay. Inim si try a sister amankwa be kwa yen. Sister amankwa wo so. Mama, Daniel si be den na yen awofo no. Etimi ne yemma aye namfo ne no madi nkomo.
Pasa ye mana mfufa mu de. So ba cha bia ne me wo ye. But ye easy say ye ne ye ma be ye namfo mu. Say de make say ye easy no. Say amofra no say be say ye kwadwuma kora ne so mu ofia. Say de ne ye kunu ye wadwuma ye bu ye wadwuma ye from so of our who to say what did you need and yes kira mofra no a anyankofa no no. Said ye make say na nyina yi man with the pedri. Aka ho wadwuma mu kura e so ofra me ne ye bonkomo. Because ye bonkomo ye na ye say ye bo ye hu nkomo. Na ye used to them. But me frɛ kwabra wo se mama me wadwuma mu ne ya frɛ ho ne ya bonkomo. Sa wo frɛ wo mu na no wo mu ofie na no omo ben o na wo ni nkomo na die ne ye die na die mtese na aka ho why you used to them to mbanyi kura na no omo yesa aha nti nyina gina awofo no ne nkwara no ne tem amuwo obu a wo ofie a no wa ye ne nukusu wo ne mankasa de one ne mabakasa na hey na kese yesei fa wetu yesei enu de amwa but won no ma no no mudi nkoma ya omo ka wo masem a kire opa Daniel no why
Yo, Mama, that's I'm saying put you on a spot, but senior was see say you keep checking. Oh, you keep checking him. Na me misa wono, wonana no yo musa. o kra do na na no de nuane na twetwe wo o mu a o se mai boys yo bra be fa ko
Yeah. Pastor, that's it.
and my only bondo not time be you are interacting with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. The me person me share awufo bi nkran say having that kind of relationship with Omano, especially when we start talking about mental illness in children and youth. No, one of the best treatment you can get through the parent. And that kind of bonding, that relationship. No, and maning say and nam say we are too focused on ye jumano chain ye mano intino. Your day off cry, but if you could near some 16 hours near Sanko, near Akoye. They even if it's 1 hour cry now between in a day, nane oba edin komokra, find that time for banners. So be it me bre Emma or Mumma. Ana Nkola Umosans on no more that closer, or maybe be in a maswatropa. They will be more open to share Bibia and now no benya akwenya. Any omo edin komo no watu omofo na mmofra bia na omo awofo ebe omo saa ni omo din komo no impempe no mko bibi kura de esi omo awofo kura no musuro but the aya na akwese o ma me kwa o so okay just akwese ye jane paman do pe bia no ye there's so many niama on betumi aye de esi wa one ya when you ba ho so no na say a drew mpempenso a asa oye hu hwe a enye yi na ade a meka ho asemi de me pese nyina ne say we have to prevent it than trying to cure it or break why addicted. If we can prevent it, that is the best thing na ebetumi aye ede ama ye mofra no. The moment no be addicted no na say just say we drew a chiri a eho no ne kuaden na dia na esa wo for no ebesa ma wo for na ankasa wasan stress no asenya depression. If you say oba akosa tibi nti wankasa no kra no nso da wonna just imagine say oba native you do one say yet na akoto institution or good like when you some form of mental illness that you treat no okra da wonna. But meanwhile no you had all the time, all the chance that you could have prevented sad way. But because you were too focused, no. To say, oh, a human na de bia for akon, oba kwaje vacation bet na efie da be hwe. So why don't we now have that kind of time for your mano? Say na enkoye say omo ye niam bi edi esie.
Yeah, that's yes.
Yeah. Dr. Akese, that's pa. Say the emphasis no me say me hunu said Dr. Akese emphasize say a parent's responsibility, say bebre no ya na imetate say na den so na asafo no ye. But who ma said the can no asem no de e ba your responsibility was asase so any heaven cry awrade bebusa ye ho omo ho asem. Enunti say opportunity cost. Me said them when ye ba first no ye mistake. Ye ba obia ba America foforo a wo time eso de ko. Enti eso rush enya de eso onya. Na ya ignore ye man. Say me say me yese. But ye hwe japade pa ye man no ye japade mu duro e chen sa ne man na ye chesi. Enti say any opportunity cost said the bia Dr. Ekre can say day of Ranwasan kwaje double. Na 10 ben na no ba ne be bondo. Enti ya mistake we acha e bia ye starting na be say ye nkate hours na ye nyanmre emwa ye man. If say wo so ye trebi o me very lonely. Ye ja o mo sa phone no ani ade na boade ba enye face to face no more important chance de bia be phone na say de bia no woman so no say ye ni fia e che say woman no so per interaction say your phone so say ye in person woman so be ye enti de ya amuadie de ye man nko na yen make sure say bebrebe na ye chase no the opportunity cost no say ye forgo ye ma no at the expense no na dey make you know we are say japade ani ade si ankate ya wese ne dia ene problem ye be to aso saa enti ye nyina ye mistakes enti ebia ya tie ni a sha ase kwan a metima fa so akoreti bi na ma fa so enti ye da mo ase fa sa
any that's part
Any chance that was
yeah
me say waka wabo asem ni nyina to fa menka na sa amayin ayana sometimes the anameka especially menya akunya na mene some of these youth na ebi o makosa atibia nim edi nkomo a ayana de me can say the way akro system ne tie no ho sometimes no krebu on mo nhyɛ danka entry especially the young ones no so o ma mebo afre policeman no ebia oku school a kokachu teacher na police for metata no na the woman said that department from DCF, that is Department of Children and Family Affairs. Anytime they get involved with any kind of situation related to akola and mama, once you hit 18 years, you are an adult, you are on your own.
Yeah.
That is where son of especially the young ones, young country. The moment they turn 18, relationship no montem I say there's no way they can return back home. Now they are on their own. Into most of them, no, probably it is that they will mingle with ways and money. No, they're twice huge. Now, my one presentation about parenting. When Ubi bisa question say, could we matiti adding? Na yese entiaoba. Enya no correct. Ubi beka sa asem true say yese entiaoba bi enya no correct. Because corona one say as a parent, what na say what to ba. And you have to discipline them. But when you leave them alone, na say onwa ko bobo brebia na obe start at the dance bamboni bi edia. Wan ko prison wa. Obey no bone. There are so many niyama a bit to me SCC. Na me kasa me kasa insunsanso no insunsanso na ba enye nipa no ye nubon ne pe no nya insunsanso no. Everybody related to that person will also be hit. Nice. One way or the other no. Ubenya sa unso no ebeka say asori a ya be sa daja bon ho mpaye. E be fresh sofo betuka akosra no. If I was rebution for all my men now, once no spend no bridge now the edgeman. They say once now to announce with the will you be even more stressed and depressed rather than Obama on one poyaran. And you know, we a year a foot to Emma. We need to find time for your man. A idea ye. Yes, we have to pay the bills, we have to go to work. And in Brunian is that we are 5 days and not about 2 days at the Atenefi. That 2 days, no one asked for an answer to take me. Will be a human means, will be a human 9. I'm not saying say no one should work, but one who how about to do near my ye. Then how you ode on mano and so a becca with Japadia who senia at the chas or say a cayan. As soon say on manon so a can with Japadiano.
That doctor that's pa nema mi no kame meka ho mema comment na waka na me pesa me sign boss earlier no saka say so no man anya good relationship so wa ma omani anka wani ni ofie wa ma omani gie wa ma omo hu say you value them okay man say be do kind of quick but say esi na metra matum boase afa bia ba wo se wa anye nuboni a obeko prison the nuboni so no ban ni good relationship just say on feel loved, welcome, appreciated. Discipline yaboni yo and yaboni as long as I won't abufuo ene otan emma koda no mpra no ana woni dem atene is different from ebro. We need to understand that discipline in just a wobono. Anyway, we'll come to that another time. Until we says how many man kwa not just a need foundation and a support network. Says how do you then Yaman is say one nuboni and not just say niwa obetima yenuboni with my nuboni drugs and alcohol. They also mean say drug and alcohol shasia. The next line you say obeko prison. Obeko prison. Na no sign. And I this to say obanhwe ya obi bekuno ana obewu. Na yen nyina nim say saa ne ma miensa we. Ni nyina ya adwuma bro we back get involved with drugs and alcohol. Prison yet a possibility. So one how good relationship. I'm building here. Drugs and alcohol, a possibility. Prison, a possibility. Death, premature death, a possibility. Satisa in an aminian. I was talk of fire, those they're no kind. None of kind of my making notes. One was saying, if we say a Japadia may on a dank crackabia messie, power Ghana. It requires a boga back. And many are Jim 3 weeks. Now me 3 weeks na bills go make you kuma. Na me pentemas is sameniema assign abba. A Japadian and tea, me jam mahon. How about say what it in mamu good people, contributing citizens. Fabribi Mohana will be frame as something to money. I don't want to make a chamano. A tessi down, he has a can be brizana, and also yes sensitive. Main chocolate ma ne ba. If it's an ebana could do acquire any more do baby. Afe, one more character reference letter. And to make sure letter say, Minima Kodana no was sorry. When you sounds a video, when you sounds a video, make sure letter or was sorry, no ya koda papa into Yana. Now, come on, tell me. Then I'm in sure. Then I'm in sure. So, let me Casan or Bass or no catch your brain, no, yes, any connection who that's fine. So I say, indeed, yes, make Roy. And yeah, make Roy. Make try some kai, so they're not Koran city, and I'm making this also say, the circumstances in life, na leading woman, about the time, and you must say, you may Sramo, judge, say, Mr. Rawa, say, give him another chance to restart his life on the path to becoming a responsible and contributing citizen. But it's easy if you say, well, say, Brianna, person software. What some no but software no pens, no. You can't be big credibility, so lose credibility. So, about who say you can't come to my Safuma. What shall I tell you? I am fine, actually. But Major what shall I tell you? Yes, software we ought to one we can't come to a man Safuma. It becomes very challenging, say, what pass out troll at a near Jacoda. That's one to mean cast my anger no. And then you now boil down to the point to be the doctor kind of says, yeah, me if you say it's a sorry and a tick, yeah, your man, my name can't say, try be a Obama fat drop on was sorry. So, one here. If we say, yeah, about sorry, and I are for in Obuaha, could I do a house and the Yarians or the drug baho, my betche. And then as our banner, we know, can be asked, and Nabaqua, never can be here. Maybe they are not a family life program. Professor. Once a free third world country. Young war mindset be a chance and assassin. Indeed, now in who said, Urabu Nipano from a crabino. Now, Ura Yobus may cast more young way if we hate you. Now, in one of the responses, America said, one best way to help your children, and they said, be friends with them, be their friends, develop a friendship relationship with them. I don't see ya not pay free to the big microphone. Was it past? I am the father. I am a father. I am not a friend. Hey, Papa, can you say me? Can you say, how can I be a friend for him to respect me? No, he can't. Indeed, yeah, no make me because well. The beer in where say so no buy Adam for so now in the father. If it's Adam for me, can I say create an atmosphere of a relationship where the child feels comfortable to come to you, to share, to open up, to understand. Say, even if I confess, I tell my dad and mom something wrong or that I've messed up, they will not humiliate and embarrass me. They will find a nice way to talk to me and make me feel like I'm a human being who has fallen. So, yeah, can. Yankasa wo ye obanadam for nkyere na onye papa bi man ye antiase o make no asan be pastor. The Bible says say a janum so I am a father. Na sa mindset to be a nice to jana sa if say nya be metime de me da wia 2 hours be a convincing the two guy by my wife say hey, we have a problem now, or reflecting on that question. If we are saying say parents minianum a program is in them. Ye ma hia ye o. Omo no ye bibia. Asopani bi was na bi o wadwum. Abasam bondin, asopani Patrick. Nya waya ano so wo ye ayi. O ye clinical ayi, o ye clinician. Wo mankrofo counseling and rehabilitation was an mu pa. Na bi o wadwum timi put on the spot. Na the ye nyina ye chiche no. Mo me entastatas. Na ye mfamma ya yenkoya abrabo mu ye ne ma enya yonkofa mu dro esanse bibie ne ho a wo trosem na wo abrabo mu akire se ye bebu ye dan ya esi ye ho akonta ana ka kakraka bi ya metoko si Ghana there's sadness you know I'm saying mo bebre ne say was high experience what si dan kakraka na watoka mo tua ho kana dia kwhye dan na doctor what to do ties yam yes no cross abusuan for bedra namboa what to do car na tie you kwa akodi 3 weeks no now in a time agu ase no drive 3 weeks ukra usro so bedra Ghana it's a traffic no ko mo de car no ben wa na yam show into obi na drive we are not to tie now they are show no better abrabo beni na wo ba no ohia wo ohia moa ebre nkomodie ade nkofa no ne ato na sawrams obedru ni young adult years na fe na say doctor kan yi na ye fresh sofo munya kom chine mami o sofo me bay do dan mi enko jami o sofo na misi na mba mi fie mesra me o na sofo and so time akoda ni hia won in the early years na ye tie ma aduanum awurade moyen ye ntiti bi so nya brema ye mai na wonum ni ye japade wonum na ibebu won ho akonta enya dan enye ka enya asase enye koko enye bro enye cashew amedua na Ghana mete ho aba ende mu ho akonta nkyire nyame na me ma wo no ibebu ho akonta doctor minim so
yes ma be she ba bi kakra na metimi akakakra osini
asopani koso
yo pastor me da wase doctor we say da wase and all the contributors no mo de buy no pastor no kre na sa problem na balance no ye nyame o na enye Ghana for ana Africa for nko na just say developmental studies no unse edru sa age doctor de buy na all their body no physical aspect enyini pa na aka brain no na I stagnant and the one year the least chance obetimi as a parent obebo modia the least chance ka krebia peer pressure be nya no pe na odoma koto sa curiosity nim because can you imagine saying bibi say monkey we just say go for the near tia ma drugs for no no more mo dey here pastor e binim do mo back university first year and I'm from as a parent the obey why bibi first year na do ye na wo ye independent na no we say hey and them have been trying share pastor some are coming to the emergency with substance induced psychosis
Oh,
na abo from adwemo asa tro bi wo ho a na maame no ene papa no wo New Jersey say you bit we have to drive all the way to Rhode Island because akura no ya akulapa it is say yeah awofo yi a ye bomodia say bit my this sa yare anase problem yi enye Ghana that's Africa phone abofo no so was a problem pa nti me fise kakra metimi dia kan won say awofo e betimi a say na wotwe bi o anase na wotwe bi a say betimi de yema to ni asa se nyame bambo se de na no wase ma ne mana e betimi asa abo abepi aka wo to say e say kra no so no wi kra no e beje no ho ande aba no oyo wotwe mi no wapiegu enye no ho enti no the my advance na the who pan say one more trying for the first time or no is you sansua enya wo mabrabo it is a the pandemic pastor ano ntine nyame hu yembo no may e kan say awofo nsusu nyansa na hu yesere ni edika kama now when somebody and he's targeting the youngs o targeting mo pa nti kakra metimaka just say adoption no matter be pills fentanyl just sitting in enya said the doctor can enya fried you say kim na say adwen kakra metimaka no there was pastor
there be how wo fia as almost mudi be kai ho nyame chira pa mini anum na me danyame ase say among young Ghana for him what they professionals are wa wo mo betima contribute into sa discussion Dr. Boampong representing woman was be a nurse woman a psych ward all kinds of disciplines there were resources one more see who in the sana basamika see my ho kwan a wo betimi aboa yen pa me nuanom hwe the abrofo ne they are reho ne say abrofo ni Korean fo ne ade obo tie no cra suit not on drugs esa so obo tie na ne pants na ne to na ne tin you nchim hwa ha hwe ntin or tons ye nche na da na ya ma no na we put ne pants belt kra mosto na odi duku bia sen ne bottom ho no ahye che bi no ada na nya hwe ha polisi hu no ano ha kwa we yo na we isu bi kra no no bi da ne hu no de na nya bu no pa na egina na no ne ye mahye no oso osi adwane ne abolo tuo po na etifie oh enti ye ensam no do so beblebe ai bomba se nyame kan ye onsa ne ye nyina ye de bo no se adwuma kese ene daye sto ye bepe bibi akodi ne ya be hia nkwanhia so nanso nyame etiase oyo tumfo oyo bade na se ye mano kwan a obeboa ye ama saa ne ma ya ye ma ato ahye won so yi obehwim won mo afim na asopani a okase twa to yi say first time trial omo di kan etra no no bi da mo ma men kama se bi nchira mo na mo pansere na mawie middle school so esi Ghana na mawie actually na di people teacher kra enna menum nsada enno mo kum sa bre no na ayi okum katachi afrifa mi fra sante mampon so ni fie mi krom ye krom enti ese why a big name of community and I'm a classmate in the middle school no more tonsa enti ekosrawo first time I try bibi ekosrawo na one more tonsa no ya na am say fi ho no mu use cap bia doctor enti won bibi on the man bia en sabon enti me ko na am say su come to me and na my classmate of far what I thought magni am say nsu and what them say a appetition any fita no tensu enu bia na wo mo ade mu kuwa bia wo fie ho metako ho te sensa sawo de na di oden sapa na ma na me no ma de na egu me na hye me na me puza just one I swallowed one gulp pill I swallowed one gulp and I me pulled yakam and I me de ade ni si yanom nisima the free fi ho no afi na me ko fanefa me ko fanefa sa me ne nam da ho asma me kan ma wura ko sam na me kan sam ne me ne nam da ho sa na me ko wura mfie na me mother na me kwa no se aduane wo me di na se e ko me no se adan na se no e come me na oya se memfa de e wo ne dem na afi me nam dan ho no se ada sofo de na ye wo me ko to dem bo ma hunu kwa me fa so dai na dweno me fisa fe me ni subrime ye ma me so ene district hospital one time and look one gulp just a guna ba ko pa me mene na edimi djuma afi me yem ni mani so for 3 days na me nya for gin alcohol no Ghana for na appetition anu ohie pa de nkaya me no na se kasa asem stay a wan hia obitimi num bi drugs fentanyl na oka no ba ko pe na adwini nyina tu afra wonum bi da krope a ko school enti tira bia baby crowd o ba ko school no bo ho mpae na me mwa say the choice of institution ado ba no kotum e dia wa amfa bi fia ha asa na me yama me comment na do so to the doctor so concluding remarks bia betimi dia my na afia dia adisua no abehwe
let me say additional the contributions na abani nyina no aboa ma at least me sure say nyina yetumi afa efutuo bi e a frame but again the message said this is a problem now the youth are facing. It's a huge problem. Now I know it's a true kind of collective effort. Parents, your the church, as we continue to educate or talk about our idea, ABA kind of create this awareness, ABA and also bit me abwa. But the biome so yen something empire box any opinion the kind because a problem pa crudiuma yetim intino mesra say we ye efutuma parent bia and yeshiem
yo already try a gidi for the nyame ase and so ya disua o dia besi minim doctor now 2 topics minim say ma the next one is next week so I bit ma gina ho sa mental illness in children na the bohu da wuru say it is hard and next week mental illness e won koda mu koda o munya adwene mu haw o nem bebre wo ho pa na next week say kosa momma yemra na yemeche unyame ase momma ebio ansa na bom payen esa me dam ase awotwe bia no mu bebre ba ebiso ekọ YouTube me hwe no na nipa 5 na ehwe na sase pa no man ko hobi na the minister want to say share with somebody and obi nche so fakoma obi say ebi oba tan bi e wo sa problem bi mu a say na obeti asemo yi a go betu na mo ba mi ensem bi ana mienu bi e be boa ne ma ne na busua and to share with somebody you may save a situation mama ye mom paye wa erade it was say eni agio say onam Dr. Boampong so achire ye nenso so wakaka ya dwene say bonsam kwan a ofa so edi u madem say ye ma ene say o de insanom ni edroyo ena say ye me boye ne nya ni fire se wo ye ntasetase nsemi se magema na ma ye opese de be ye adwuma kan ma ye wo afidie so ni won ma beti sanse ni bi nyina say won obi owo haw anamane won kwada na bi sanse mansema bi ne na mabusua mu sue no na gino na hwim ne mafri obonsam kwan so si kwantempo mu na ya ni gie ene arochiche sem ama manya hoto de aso nyam mpa ye ni de doctor shawon sase shiran kosoma ni nimdie na ono so atimi ni yen ache yesu di mu ne yeso wadum amen
Amen.
Amen kan gina ho na nyame yadma next week ye be san